So welcome to Inspiring Women on a Mission. I'm Nancy, and my dear friend Sheila and I are here again today, part 2 of our chat about depression. So welcome. Yeah, Sheila, were you worried about taking any medication and what the possible side effects would be, or if this would be a lifelong thing, and what kind of what harm or possible benefit you would have? That would the harm outweigh the benefit?
Well, I think for me the biggest thing was the stigma of it, right? And I think that's where a lot of people can relate, and even today, even talking about it,
of course,
you know, I feel a little anxious and nervous about talking about it too, but I feel like I'm in such a great place because of the medication that I take.
Awesome.
And I see this experience as not being, this is not going to define me. This is not who I am.
Absolutely not.
What is going to define me is what I do from this point forward. That's what's going to define me.
Well, and talking about it, let me interject, talking about it helps people. Because,
totally. Yes.
Because anytime we identify, like if I look to some of our YouTube videos in the past, some of the things that have, I think, had the most hits or the most views have been things like weight, which is a big thing for some people.
Yes.
Alcoholism, like, you know, Kelly's dad becoming paraplegic, like things that are really big, heavy topics where people maybe don't want to talk about them, you know,
well,
but we need to talk about it and share, because if you might help one person go to the doctor and not attempt suicide.
Right.
I mean, you just don't know.
You just don't know.
No.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I can honestly say to you that at that point, taking the medication was like, I don't care, because I just don't want to feel this way anymore.
So curious, and any side effects from the medication you're taking?
You're
low dose, which is
I'm
excellent.
a low dose. I would say the biggest side effect so far is that with the lack of anxiety, I no longer feel the need to, I always felt like I controlled myself with everything that I did. So I exercised constantly. I really watched what I ate and that type of thing. And I just sort of feel like, I guess, I don't even call this a side effect. I maybe as a bonus. I don't know, maybe some people might see it as a side effect, but I enjoy everything.
You've relaxed about things?
I've relaxed about everything. I enjoy
That's a
everything.
huge bonus.
I enjoy food. I enjoy hanging out with my girlfriends. I enjoy laughter. I enjoy things now that maybe you took for granted before. And you know, maybe I don't work out as much as I did before, but maybe I wasn't working out for the right reasons before.
Right.
And that's the way I look at it. And you're lovable, no matter what.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So, and that's the other stigma, I think, that people are worried that nobody's going to love them if they find out that there's something wrong with them.
Well, how should what you have going on be different than diabetes? Like, would you judge me if I had diabetes?
Exactly.
But would you? But would you?
Of course not.
No, right.
Yeah.
So why would I want to judge you, right? And you know what I've really learned, and I want to put this out there, that I'm 50, and a lot of the people in my world are, 40-ish, 50-ish, and I have to say what I've learned from the young people, young women, young men, is that they are way more open to talk about this stuff, and that is opening it up for us. If they can talk about it, why can't we? If they're saying, we feel, depressed because we can't buy our house, or we feel whatever because we don't make enough money, or we're going to have a huge student loan debt, or we're still at home, whatever it is they're talking about. I mean, some of it is fantastic because it opens it up for all the rest of us.
The important thing is to talk about it.
Yes.
If you're not going to talk to your spouse, or talk to your girlfriends, talk to your doctor, talk to somebody, because after a while, I know a lot of people say, well, you could exercise, you could do this, and that is
that's helpful.
And so is going to a counselor, and so is the, maybe for some people the medication that helps them too, but you really, to be honest, I think talking about it, that really helps, and getting rid of that stigma, because when you're already in that state of mind, thinking that other people think that you're crazy, that makes you go deeper into that pit.
Absolutely.
Right? And that's the worst thing. And the other thing, if I can tell you one thing you should never ever say to somebody who's depressed, get over it.
I've heard that there are people that are not supportive.
There are a lot of people that don't, and telling somebody to get over it, to me, well, you'd get over it if you could. You would. It's a horrible place to be. nobody would do it. Nobody does it to themselves.
Well, that's like,
and you would get over it.
Yeah, and that would be like, I say, judging somebody who has diabetes. Oh, well, if you stopped eating sugar, or you ate better, you exercised, or drank more water, or did this or that. That it's implying that it's their fault, or that minimizing that it's not. That it's not a big deal. Like, that's just, well, I don't hang out with those kind of people. But I have heard, I know of somebody who, she works at a big organization here, and she's worked there, I don't know, 20 years, and she went off on stress leave a few years ago. And a lot of people at work were not very supportive when she went back from her medical, from her depression. And other people were. So, I mean, you know, you've got to choose in life, right? Like, choose who you hang out with, right?
Okay.
There's a line drawn.
There's always going to be, you know, the people that don't understand.
Or
and that's
maybe they're scared of it.
Totally, because maybe they can relate.
Yes.
To it.
Maybe they feel powerless.
Fear. It's their fear. You know.
I think that's been a lot of really, really good information, like awesome information. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So anyhow, signing off for now. This is my dear friend Sheila. We're in Penticton, and I'm Nancy, and we're inspiring women on a mission. Thank you.
Thank you.